rumors about this species.
All
Suit
right,
yourself.
Boston, Massachusetts, El Mundo Boston, tal y como habíamos prometido. With Love. Tenemos el cast of With Love, which is a multi-holiday romantic comedy that's on Amazon Prime Video now, written and created by my fellow Cubana, Gloria Calderon Kellett. It follows the Diaz siblings, Lily and Jorge Jr., on a mission to find love and purpose. From the first episode, Nochebuena, I can't wait to watch the other of them, and I strongly encourage you, everybody, to check this out. And if you don't, if you want to take it from me, let's hear from the cast. Un aplauso para el cast de With Love. Tenemos a Todd Grinnell. Hey, Todd. How are you today, Todd?
For having us.
So, Todd, you play a historic role, Dr. Miles Murphy. We also have Benito Martinez, who plays Jorge Diaz Sr., the patriarch of this really funny family, right? Kind of mixed family. And you're like the dad, right? You're like the Mexican version of my Cuban father. Very conservative, Catholic, but really cool role.
Your dad sounds like a really cool guy.
Bueno, in Constance Marie, nuestra amiga hermana mexicana, you know this face from so many different movies, Hollywood productions. My daughter's going to freak out because I'm talking to Selena's mom. I know you were in Selena, right? I remember you from Spin City, right, with Michael J. Fox.
Oh my God.
I'm going old school.
That was a long time ago.
Yes. But in this one, Beatriz Diaz, tú eres la esposa, you're the wife of Jorge in this great family, by the way, which is very historical. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, as I want to now introduce Gloria Calderon Kellett. She plays Gladys Delgado, but she is really the creator, executive producer of the show, showrunner. Hi, Gloria, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Mi cubanaza.
Claro, aquí estamos, dale.
Now, you went from One Day at a Time to this. I guess that's where you met Todd. But tell me the premise of this. This is an incredible story, and I want you, as a creator, to give me a synopsis of this 5-part series.
Well, this is about a Latino family living right now and loving. And, the pandemic really put me in a space where I was not with family. And I love the big holiday celebrations, the weddings, the funerals ahora,
Yeah.
where we come together and we celebrate together because we're all so busy and now we're also spread out over the country. So it's really the holidays and these big events when I get to see my family. And whenever I walk in, I always go to my favorite primos and I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's the chisme? ¿Qué está pasando? Who did what? What tío did what? What tía's gonna tell me I'm fat? Like all of the stuff that we love, and we fall into those roles. And I feel like we never get to see Latino families on TV enjoying, laughing, loving, music, food, all of the stuff that I grew up with that I love so much that I feel like everyone should celebrate with us.
Yeah. Your whole story reminds me of like all my non-Latino friends growing up when they would come over to the house, and it was like they're expected to see 8, 9, 10 people, and I think there was a line in the opening. It's like no, it's going to be like 30 to 40. So get ready, right?
That's right.
Constance, you're laughing because you're the matriarch of this. Tell me about how this is a different role for you, if it is different. But you've got a key role in this.
For me, I am just, doing this so long. I'm so glad to celebrate that with Glow's creativity, us Latinos made it to the upper middle class.
That's right.
Finally, we got out of the barrio and we're in the upper middle class. And there's nothing wrong with the barrio, but it's nice to have us multi-levels, right? And for me, my character goes through like a big journey. She is sort of like the glue. She's got her own issues that she's got going on, but she kind of puts those aside to sort of deal with the family and help the family. And Benito's character and myself, we own our own restaurant, a fabulous restaurant, by the way, which I wish was a real restaurant because I want to go have dinner there. It's just so beautiful. So the connections in this relationship are like the number one thing that drew me to this role, and that I got to wear Jimmy Choo's.
You know what? I really like Benito's role. Jorge Diaz Sr., Catholic dad, and you're dealing with a very mixed family. So that's one issue of this show that I want to talk to you a little bit about, Gloria. Non-binary folks, all the diversity that we're living today is in this family, right? It's representing the family and so many different characters. But Benito, you're kind of that typical Latino father who now has to deal with a world that he's not really comfortable in, but he's pretty accepting.
He's not super macho, but he comes from a different world. But he's not stuck in that world. He's open-minded. He's still figuring stuff out. He loves his kids. He loves his wife. He loves his parents-in-law. But he's just, a guy who's content in life. And what's fun about the show is that normally that just happens and it would be a background character. But in this story, we really show some of the conflicts that you have in a marriage when you're too comfortable in the marriage. So between Constance and myself, we have to rediscover each other, which is a fun added challenge to the whole story, because the kids are trying to discover themselves as well, and understand what relationships mean and how that works. So you have this guy who's got his own history and his own world and likes it, and all of a sudden everything's different. Everything is different, and he has to explore that and figure that out.
Gloria, I love the way you mixed a couple different things, right? The Spanglish, the culture, the us introducing our culture to other non-Latinos, like I said, right? We grew up doing that, right? Trying to explain all these customs that we have to people who don't understand them. But you're also dealing with this new kind of lifestyles, right? Non-binary, transgender. But love is love, I think, is the ultimate message in this, but deal within the whole Latino concept adds even another little spice, right? I love the jokes, the inside jokes. Tell me a little bit about that, because the writing is incredible.
Well, it all comes from a really real place. My family, my extended family is humongous now, and it's so mixed and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to come to these events. And whereas when we were growing up and we were like, my generation was more down with that kind of stuff. It was kind of harder to explain to the older generation. And now everyone's out. People have been out for now 10, 20 years in my family, and nobody cares anymore. The things that were like, I better get that person, and really what you realize, at least in my family, I can only speak for my family. In my family, all of the fear was that they would not be safe, or that it was fear-based, right? Anything that was negative was because, oh my gosh, we love this person and we want them to be safe. We want them to be able to thrive. And it sometimes becomes a misguided thing where, because people don't understand it, they close the door to it. And by closing the door, you're closing the door to a beautiful person that's part of your family. And so I'm really fortunate that in my family, we all just tried to figure it out. We tried to figure out what they were going through. We tried to figure out how they could best be supported and loved and accepted. And as a result, good things have happened. So when you see that happening in your own community and in your own family, you want to extend that out and say, this is also what it can look like. We don't all have to get each other completely, right? But we can love each other, and we can try to find a middle ground. And it was another reason why I wanted to set the show in Portland, because my family grew up in Portland. You're in Boston. Like, how often do you meet somebody in Boston and they're like, Cubans in Boston? You're like, yeah, we're everywhere.
There was 3 of us growing up, just like in the movie in the show where you said 97.7% of.
Yeah.
I caught that. I felt that. I can relate.
You were there, but we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So it was also showing that we're all over the place.
Yeah, I want to talk to Todd, because actually, here's the ironic part, right? The reason why we're all on El Mundo Boston, Benito, Constance, Gloria, is because of El Gringo, El Americano. Todd Grinnell connected us because his brother, Taylor Grinnell, works for the Boston Red Sox, and we host El Mundo Boston, an annual event at Fenway. We take over the park and we do a Latino festival. We bring salsa, merengue, bachata. And Taylor was telling me about Todd in this new show. And I want to challenge Todd right now. Todd, you were in One Day at a Time, okay? Now you're on this show, surrounded by Latinos twice. From 1 to 10, how well do you know the Latino culture?
Gloria will be the real judge of this, but I would have to say, I don't know. I always learn more every day. So I don't know. I'm going to say 6 or 7.
What do you think, Gloria?
I would like to
He's
say
really
12.
good. He's really good. Also, I've known Todd for a very long time. So, although I have to say, not till one day at a time, he thought I was Mexican until one day.
That's not true.
You did at one point. You were like, I mean, the first 2 years, Gloria, I thought you were Mexican. I didn't know.
Well, I will say your brother Taylor will give himself an 8. So that's all I'm saying.
What?
Con-
No,
He and I
that's
talked
got more
about this
going on than
offline.
Taylor for sure.
All right. Well, we
Yeah,
can't wait to get them together. Constance,
Yeah.
we're my family's a big fan of all your work. Like I told you, I go way back to your days. My daughter is a big fan of yours and Selena. How is it working with this cast?
I have to say, hats off to Gloria and the creation of this, because these people, all these beautiful actors that you see in front of you, really felt like a family. We really knew how important this show was. I mean, plus it was COVID, so you had to like have your own bubble of people. You know, everybody was super safe, trying to keep each other safe. And I think like Benito is perfectly cast as this walking human hug, right? I mean, everybody Glow with a hug. I mean, you just want to hug him, and he's these wonderful actors, Todd, Isis, Mark. We really felt like a family. So it felt so good to be safe, to create, to have a bunch of people who had the same vision of moving this Latinx rom-com forward, come hell or high water, COVID be damned. We were just going to, and at the core of it, I really think that we all knew that we were doing something that was about respect and about love and moving that ball forward for the Latinx community. And it was really important to us. We all had the same singular vision. I really think it comes across the screen, the chemistry that we all had and how much we all loved doing With Love.
Benito, I'm gonna come back to you and just give me your character again, which we all seem to love. I really feel close to him. Did you draw that upon somebody in your family, people you know? Is it a combination of folks, or of you growing up, some other family members?
This was a bit different than all of that. But the strength or the connection that I found, there were two of them. The scene that I have with Mark, and he says, you don't love me, or you don't like what my relationship is. And I say, well, no. I'm not gay. I don't know how to deal with that stuff. I've had that conversations with family members where they think I'm on the outside. So to hear this on an audition, I was like, oh my God, how perfect. And then to work with Constance. Constance, the second we had our first reading together, it was like, oh, this has history, this has truth. This is going to be easy. And sure enough, every day that I got to go to work with her, we were already a mile down the road just to start on the very first sentence. But, it's a culmination of a lot of different types of fathers. But I like the journey in this because he's rooted in the partnerships that he has. And when you're rooted in that and your tradition, then you can do anything with that character. And Gloria is brave enough to put him in all these wonderful, awkward situations. And I love the rivalry that he has with Gladys, his sister-in-law. There's a little bit of a fight there.
Oh, no, I love the interaction of all the characters. The only thing I don't like is it's only 5 episodes. So let's everybody watch it. Let's make sure we get all the metrics for Amazon Prime, right? Let's get those numbers up so that Gloria gets a call that we've got another couple seasons, because there's more than 5 holidays. There's more occasions to see how this family deals with all of this. So catch it on Amazon Prime Video. I watched the first one, started the second one. Marianne La Gringa here has watched all 5. I got another Dominican who's watched 3, and we got a young Honduran who's on her second and says this is her favorite one. So, and the Colombian back here says she wants to watch it tonight too. So you should get some numbers up in here in Boston. So thank you, Todd. Constance, de nuevo, un abrazo para ti. Benito, you have another fan over here. By the way, Benito, your connection to Boston is The Shield. Your co-star, Mike from Boston.
Yeah.
That's right.
Michael Chiklis.
Yep.
From Boston.
Todd,
And he
Todd,
never let me forget.
go Red Sox. Todd, you're from Boston. What part of Boston?
Newburyport. Well, West Newbury.
Yeah, West Newbury. Constance, you've been here to Boston once, you said?
I came once when I was on tour with David Bowie. I was there for a night.
Well, we're going to get you back. And Taylor, Todd's brother is going to get you primo seats at Fenway Park for a Red Sox game. Right, Todd?
Let's do it.
All right.
Done deal.
And
I'm on his bench.
Benito, we're going to have you throw out the first pitch because you'll see Fenway Park is way better than Dodger Stadium. Oye, Cubana, Gloria, te quiero mucho. You are
Yes.
my second favorite Gloria Cuban. And we all know who the first Gloria is. First Cuban.
Oh, our queen.
Our
I'll
queen.
take it.
Gloria Estefan. All right, guys. Thank you so much. With love, from Boston to you guys. Thank you for taking the time out with El Mundo Boston. Good luck. Catch this series, Amazon Prime Video. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. Tell all my friends. And thank you for making this happen, Todd. See you soon.
Thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
Bye-bye. With love. Con amor.
Bye, everybody.